Passing on our outdoors traditions is just part of life here in Minnesota. From generation to generation, our love of the lakes is passed along. But today, we're adjusting some of those traditions and habits. And the next generation will likely lead the way in changing Minnesota traditions.
Fishing has been something that I had when I grew up, and Todd was one of those guys that loved to fish. And
I spent a lot of time fishing with my dad, and that was always very meaningful. I suppose as I've grown older, that's become even more meaningful.
When he got old enough to drive, I just, got old enough, I'd drive the boat out and dump it in the water, and he'd take off down the lake fishing. And when he finally got his license, he did it himself, and he'd fish every day almost in the summer when he could.
Yeah, a lot of days on the water and enjoying the brief summers that we have. I've done some ice fishing. I've enjoyed the winters with snowmobiling on the lakes, but there's nothing in my mind better than the summer fishing.
He's passing it on to our grandsons. We are passing it on to our grandsons, and that's important.
What is this, Jed?
A sunny, I know that.
A sunny.
We started when they were little, when the boys were babies. They were in our pack and play on the water, so they got used to being out on the boat. And now we can get out for easy an afternoon and an evening, no problem.
Prize for biggest fish, for sure.
It's a great time in our lives, and it's something that I know that not everybody gets to do, but to be able to have my parents close and my family with my wife and kids, all of us to be out there at the same time, and it's something that is quite meaningful to us right now.
That's our biggest source of entertainment, and it means a lot to us. It's making memories for our family. That's how we do it.
Trying to keep everything straight and keep the lines from being tangled up, and he does a great job. He has great patience with the boys.
Yes!
Another one for you.
I made a choice a long time ago that although I love to fish for walleyes and I have the patience for it, and I could sit out there for hours, and I have, but I know that as a child, not every child has that patience, and I really want to instill in them a love for catching fish, being outside, knowing what it means to take care of what we've been given. And I feel that if we are too aggressive with them out on the water, with fishing and whatnot, they may lose that love, and we may lose another generation. So I just want to be very purposeful to help them catch as many fish as they can when we're fishing, and let the patience come to them, and let them figure out if they like fishing, they'll do it, and let them make that choice, but I don't want to ruin it for them.
This is like Grandma's!
You got it. Wow, look at that guy. Dad, you want to take a selfie with it? Oh. Selfie, Dad. Selfie time.
You don't have to go out there and catch world record fish. You just got to go out there and catch little ones, and they're just as excited about how many they catch and oh, look at this one's big. It's the size of your hand. It's a sunny, big deal. Or we go out and you hook into some crappies and you get into some good crappie fishing. That's fun because the kids really enjoy that, and that's what it's about. It's getting them involved by exposing them to good fishing, and it don't have to be big fish. Because eventually they're going to grow up and they're going to hear Dad say, yeah, I'm going walleye fishing. You want to come along? Yeah, sure. And they'll go out and they'll spend a day in the lake fishing for walleyes. It's a program, it's just a program you teach and you build on.
This is a great time to spend as a family. We, a lot of times on Sunday afternoons, we'll head out to the lake and do a little fishing, a little bit of swimming, and enjoy some time.
We're probably out at least a couple nights a week when we can, and any weekend that we're home, we're out on the water.
They spend a lot more time than we do, and you know, and I think it's important that we just go out and spend time like that with the kids and the grandkids. It's something you got to do.
What did you catch? A big old slab.
As soon as we can get out on the water and it's warm enough to swim, we're out. I would say last day of school, a couple years, we've been out just to get the boys in swimming, even if it's a little chilly. And then throughout the summer, as soon as Dad gets home from work, we're ready. We've got our swimsuits ready. We've got the bag packed. We've got lunch, supper ready, and we take off.
Is everybody ready to go swimming? We have no problem jumping off the boat in the middle of the lake. Our boys aren't afraid. We're not afraid. It was a lot of fun.
If you don't take care of the lake and you let it pollute or whatever you happen to do to it, you know, the aquatic species come in, whatever it is, it changes the lake.
Big one that pops up to us is zebra mussels that we see on the lake that we go to the most frequently. Like we used to go to a sandbar and swim all the time, and now the boys wear their sandals when they swim. They cut their feet on the shells. We pull them up and there's some zebra mussels all around it. And so we're seeing little things like that the last couple years.
I think of obviously zebra mussels in our area. We also have Eurasian milfoil, spiny water fleas. All of those are in different lakes around the area. And you know, certainly I think the zebra mussels affect the lake that we fish the most. We've had to deal with cut feet. We've had to deal with just them impacting where we swim. And I'm afraid that they will start to impact our fisheries as they change the biodiversity of the lakes. And you know, we'll see. You know, our nature is resilient, but it sure would be good for us to avoid problems that don't need to happen.
It's important what they're doing now that you make you check your water and clean your water out and dump your water out of your boat. And you know, even when you got a half a bucket full of minnows, you got to dump them out because you can't transfer that water, you know, around. And I think it's important that we take care of our water the best we can and keep it clean as we possibly can.
Especially in Minnesota, if we don't have the lakes, you know, not only do we suffer, the whole world suffers, really. I mean, so much of the water source begins in Minnesota, and if we don't take care of it here, it's going to have an impact throughout the rest of the country even.
You know, in the old days, you'd pull it on the trailer, leave the plug in, and just drive off, you know, just take off with the trailer in the boat. Now you have to pull the plug, you have to drain the water, you have to check for all the little things that might be hung up on the boat and the trailer.
We need to be the most careful that we possibly can to prevent them from going to different lakes. And for me, if I'm not careful with my boat, I could be the one who is guilty of bringing them there, and I don't want that to happen.
Why would I want to take some of this foreign vegetation that might be in X lake and put it in Y lake because I didn't take the time to clean my trailer off?
It takes a little extra work, and that's work that I didn't ever have to take when I was growing up, but it's a habit that I've had to get into more recently.
Basically, it takes you 2 to 5 minutes to go through your boat and look at it.
We're always happy to see the DNR summer employees out there, and we'll talk with them, and they're always very helpful. I've been happy to see that I don't feel pressure or guilty if we miss something. They're always there to make sure that things are done well.
Pull the plug, drain the thing out, and then you're down the highway.
So when you pull the boat out of the water, the boys get down, they look at the prop, they're looking at the motor, they're following Dad around as he looks at the boat.
They do not know any different. That is their normal, is to check the boat for things to make sure that it's taken care of before we leave the lake.
We love the lakes. That's our source of entertainment. It's our source of enjoyment. And if we can't do that anymore as a family, I don't know what else we would do right now. Truly. Todd, what else would we do?
When it comes to our precious lakes and rivers, the fight to prevent the spread of aquatic invasive species is the struggle of our generation. And we all need to be involved, from anglers, to hunters, to recreational users, and anyone who loves our lakes. To find out how you can do your part to prevent the spread of AIS, visit the online home of changing Minnesota traditions at minnesotatraditions.com. Together, we can stop the spread of aquatic invasives and continue to enjoy our beautiful lakes and rivers for generations to come.
For those who aren't familiar with Breezy Point, it's a dynamic place. It's a busy resort in the summertime, and it's a fun spot to be. We're nestled right on the edge of Pelican Lake, which is, in my opinion, one of Minnesota's finest lakes. Very clear, perfect sand beaches all around. It's just a great spot to bring your family. Majority of our draw comes from the metro area, but of course we draw people, a lot of Canadians come down for our golf courses and for the fishing, as well as the states surrounding us. We've had people from all 50 states this season, which we're very proud of. And plus we get our international travelers also. The favorite activities always revolve around the water. That is so important. That's what makes the Minnesota resort so popular, is because there's an abundance of water and it's great to recreate on them. At first, when you hear aquatic invasive species, especially on Pelican Lake, everybody is fearful. And obviously, we're not thrilled with the fact that we have zebra mussels in our lake, but we're going to have to learn to work with them. We're going to have to learn to inform our guests just to be careful when they're walking on the beaches and just look for the little zebra mussels so they don't step on them. But yeah, we're learning to deal with it. Pelican is such a great lake for recreating on, and many people do bring their own boats. So obviously it's up to us to educate them before they go in and as they come out, and also working with the different associations that sponsor the inspectors that will inspect the boat after they leave to make sure they don't transfer anything to another lake. They mention is they'll say, well, look for the little zebra mussels, and they'll show them an example, and we have pictures for them to see, and just to mention to them that they're sharp. Be careful that you don't step on them, because they could hurt you if you do step on them. Specifically with the zebra mussels, you do see them around the lake, and it's changed over the last 2 years where there wasn't as big of an abundance. Now there is. Obviously, we're fearful of what it will turn into in the future, and that's why we want to work with whatever government bodies we can to help minimize the expansion of the zebra mussels within Pelican. Certain customers will never see the zebra mussels because, again, they're not everywhere on Pelican Lake. You really have to be in certain areas to see the abundance of them. But we still do inform people. Overall, the feedback from our guests has been very positive with the inspectors that are stationed at our landing. Crow County helps provide those inspectors, and they're wonderful people. They're great to communicate with. They don't have that perception of being oppressive, but they just want to work with the customers, inform them exactly what is happening with the lakes and how they can play a part in keeping our lakes healthy. We couldn't operate without the waters and healthy lakes in our area.
we're here at Breezy Point, and while this boat is in the water, one of the things we look for on pontoons as they come out of the water and we're doing our inspections is we'll start at the front of the boat or at one end and we'll work our way around. We check key spots are going to be at the tanks. We'll run our hands along your boat and feel for any sort of abrasiveness. The other thing we look for Eurasian milfoil, which will attach itself. And now if part of that breaks off, that little piece can go and it'll multiply itself like bunnies. So we go around, we check for those things. As we get closer to ropes or things that could be in the water, we also look for starry stonewort fleas. Those are very, very small, harder to see, but they have become recently a problem here in Crow Wing County. We continue around. We look at spots like this where the water's met and you have little crevices. Those are spots that invasive species like to attach to. So one of the things that I like about pontoon boats is that they have a really smooth surface on the bottom. They're wide open surfaces, they're smooth, they're easy to clean. As long as people properly maintain them, they stay that smooth surface, so different aquatic invasive species like a zebra mussel, like milfoil, they aren't going to find a place to attach there. As you pull out of the launch with your boat on your trailer, one of the things is your motor is almost always up, making sure you have clearance, making sure that you're protecting your motor as well. What we'll ask you to do, and what's an important thing to do at any launch as you're removing, is to drop your motor back down. That will allow for any residual water that's in your motor to drain out, thus preventing the spread of invasive species through the water itself. You know, you have them do annual maintenance on your boat, but what you don't have them necessarily do is make sure that during the summer, while you're taking your boat in and out of the water more routinely, that you're taking care of it during those intervals outside of your routine maintenance time. And that's what our inspectors are trying to help you with, is help you to see and educate yourself on how you can better not just protect our environment, but protect your boat as well. So if our inspectors come across invasive species while they're inspecting your boat, if it's something that's very simple to just brush off, if it's a milfoil, for instance, they'll ask you to remove it, they'll help you to remove it. If it's other than that, then we'll ask you to go get your boat decontaminated. That process would include going to a decon station, which we have a permanent one in Cross Lake, Minnesota, as well as we refer you to portable ones that the DNR operates here around the county. There, what they'll do is they'll go around your boat. They'll first do a hot water soak of 140 degrees. That's the temperature necessary in order to kill any invasive species. So once we go around, we do a hot soak, then they'll go ahead. If you have zebra mussels that are not coming off on their own, then we take a high pressure hose and we go over your boat with that to remove those. We'll clean through your engine. If you have live wells, if you have ballast tanks, we'll run hot water through those as well. One of the things that the Mississippi Headwaters Board has partnered with us in is to promote the education of this process, so that even if we don't have an inspector at your lake, you're informed and you know what it means to clean, drain, and dry, how to keep your boat clean, not just for maintaining your boat, but for also maintaining our lakes, our communities, our environment.
When it comes to our precious lakes and rivers, the fight to prevent the spread of aquatic invasive species is the struggle of our generation. And we all need to be involved, from anglers to hunters to recreational users and anyone who loves our lakes. To find out how you can do your part to prevent the spread of AIS, visit the online home of Changing Minnesota Traditions at minnesotatraditions.com. Together, we can stop the spread of aquatic invasives and continue to enjoy our beautiful lakes and rivers for generations to come.
What makes Minnesota water so special to me is the fact that we can go out, we can enjoy it. We have an opportunity like no other state. We have different opportunities to go out there, recreate, and still enjoy the loons, the wetlands, and all that's all part of Minnesota.
As a native Minnesotan and a native to the area here, the specialness of the lakes is really not just the enjoyment for us that are here, but also watching the many people who come from all over the world that participate in activities on them. So as a member of the Mississippi Headwaters Board, Board of Directors, we think we have a world-class facility here in the river that we like to emphasize and say that it's a big part of what people could enjoy if they really get out on it.
I grew up in this state, and being 67 years old, I've been fishing since I was probably about 5 years old. Later in the summer, we just like to get into the kayaking and the canoeing a little bit more.
I spend quite a few hours on the water. I join a kayak club that I do every week, so I'm probably looking at 5 hours a week.
I live on a lake, so I'm on the water every day. Can sit and have coffee every morning on the end of my dock or on my patio, and so I'm on it all the time.
Every year, the Mississippi Headwaters Board with Wing County and Wing State Park get together, and we have an opportunity to expose people to the Mississippi River, have an event like this where we canoe or kayak down to Wing State Park and look at some fur trade entrapment historically. It's a great opportunity for people to get out there and actually enjoy the resource and see it rather than just see it from a video camera or some other opportunity.
We think it's a family affair that really people can get out for no cost whatsoever other than loading up their canoe and bringing it here and going down the river or kayak or whatever they wish to use. So it's a great event, I think, for the area.
We've canoed the river on our own before and fished a little bit, but we saw the advertisement and thought it might be a kind of a fun thing to do with more than just us going along. So
we have people that have been here for going on 20 years that have been doing this and have really seen the river change and seen positive things and negative things as well.
I think there are two major problems with AIS right now. One is the people who say, it's coming, we can't do anything about it, what's the use? And the second group of people that I encounter most often is it's a DNR problem. The DNR isn't putting enough money into it to solve the problem. If they can't do it, why should we? I think both of those are a little short-sighted, and really I think the effort that we've done on the Headwaters Board is to try and just get awareness of the issue.
Aquatic invasive species, when I was first introduced to it, or when it first became a problem, was just the milfoil. Now, of course, it's that and the bugs and the snails and mussels that are coming in from the Great Lakes. I mean, they're just going all over now. And we're trying to put the genie back in the bottle, obviously, but I think the more people become aware of it, it's going to be better.
It's important for people to be aware of this because when people are aware, then hopefully it leads to them starting to behavioral change, like clean, drain, dry, simple, basic things.
Clean, drain, dry is the mantra. I think it's a good one. I think I just, on my way down here, watched two boats pull out and both of them had water running out of their ballast as they drove down. I think people need to be aware that if they drain their boat when it's sitting flat or even tilted a little forward on their trailer, it's not going to drain. So I think just being aware of those things, just being conscious of it, is really the best we can do, is make people aware, make them conscious, make them realize that yes, we aren't going to be able to do everything and get everything dry. Not everybody's going to be able to stay out of the water for 5 days, but doing what we can when we can is the best approach.
I kind of look at it like health standards. There's hundreds of bugs, viruses that could hurt us, even kill us. But just by simply washing our hands, we're stopping about 95% of our problems. Same thing with zebra mussels and this. Clean, drain, dry, you're going to stop 95% of the problem. It's that simple.
I follow all the regulations, obviously, because I don't want to pay the $150 fine, but we're pretty diligent about it now. I mean, you know, pulling the plug is the easy thing to do when you leave a lake, but when I get home, I usually scrub the live wells out, and actually it's kind of changed my habits a little bit. We really don't even use the live wells anymore because I don't want to hassle with it or, you know, take something from one body of water to another. So if we do keep fish, we just keep a cooler in the boat and throw the fish in the cooler and don't use the live well.
You know, with watercraft, especially because we're out here with canoes and kayaks, you want to pull them out of the water. If it has a drain plug, you want to pull the drain plug and then lift it up just to make sure that you're getting all that water that could have potential microscopic organisms or bugs in it. And then you want to just go through and pull off any leaves or debris on it. Most people, kayakers, canoers, I don't think they really realize that there are a potential spread for zebra mussels or of that nature. They kind of think of where's the boats or the docks or those other people. But you know, just doing, like I said, just doing some simple things that get people like clean draining and drying your kayak is something that just stops the spread.
Are we going to be able to solve the problem? Probably not. Are we going to be able to stem the tide of it coming? Yes, I think we can. And that's the most important part that we can do. If we can raise the awareness, get people involved, and just educated to the fact that, yes, it may be coming, there may be others that will continue to come, but you know, we have to do what we can.
When I think of aquatic invasive species, I used to kind of think of something negative, but now, through all the work that the state of Minnesota has done, I'm really looking at it from a positive standpoint. Only 5% of the lakes in Minnesota have any aquatic invasive species on it. With that in mind, when we do these programs, when we offer these events, I don't come from a sense that I'm overwhelmed and it's just one of more things that's going to take a millennia to fix. I really believe this is going to be something fixable in our lifetime.
This program was brought to you by the Mississippi Headwaters Board, which encourages you to protect and enjoy our natural resources. For more information, please go to mississippiheadwaters.org/AIS to find out more about what your local county is doing to protect our resources.